Recabar información. Vale, ¿qué teníamos que hacer? Menos mal que tengo un blog de notas. Quería hablar con él sobre... perfecto. ¿Usted sabe algo?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's
Vale.
like that old saying goes.
Vale, ya... Faltaba el tacho prendido fuego y completo. A ver. De repente estaba en la escuela, estaba en el recreo para comer. De repente de una escuela pasó una villa, los pibes ahí fuera con los pasantes. ¿Estás hablando de un sueño que has tenido? Porque si no, no se ve. No entiendo de lo que estás hablando. Hablar con este tipo siempre me viene bien eso.
Every worker.
Señor Dubais, cada trabajador se inclina hacia ti esperando a que termine su frase. Dubais. Un miembro de la Junta. Es un dios viviente. Es un órgano del gran organismo estatal de la guerra. Además se parece a mí.
That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today? Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Buena técnica, señor gran sargento.
I'm not so sure about it.
A ver, se lo estaba diciendo.
Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are. Racist mugs in the trash, and I have so much confidence.
Yes, yes. Do you think this...
Oh, no.
Estoy de razón.
It's
Believe me, Harry, but he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are.
¿Cómo sabe que fue la compañía de transportes quien contrató a los mercenarios?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do.
Es verdad, lo único eso.
Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company, after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
No es tan...
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
Me pareces
Harry,
muy...
what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Oh. El Harry Sucio Potter podría ser, ¿eh?
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her?
I did that, didn't I? She thinks of herself as a guerrilla fighter. These middle-class kids and the books they read are crazy, Harry. I think she would rather be an insurgent than a lawyer. I hope it's a phase. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
Pregunta preguntosa. Dime y trataré de
You can now
contestarla.
go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Bien hecho. Gracias, autorita. Por una vez ha sido útil. Pues claro, es lo menos que puedo hacer por mi buen amigo Harry. Pero una vez concluyamos esta charla.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
¿Y esto a cuento de qué?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little puzzled.
Parece un poco
Good
perplejo.
boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions?
En verdad, es un poco perplejo. Comprendo, porque yo también me he quedado perplejo. Como, a ver, es que 5 euros. No sé cuánto es la inflación de este. de este mundo, pero para mí 5... Puede ser que sea bastante, ¿no? Y que 5 sea una fortuna, ¿no? Pero a mí me dan 5 euros, un soborno, me parece poco. Es decir, con 5 euros es que... 5 euros ya no me puedo... Ya no me, ¿qué me puedo comprar? Media botella, medio litro de aceite. Que también sigue siendo... ¿Fuiste pelado? Puede ser. A mí me parece bastante. No sé, a mí me parece muy poca cantidad para sobornarme. Si me das 50, 100, puedo entendería que fuese un soborno. Y seguramente lo hubiese rechazado. Porque ya no necesito tanto dinero de momento. A ver.
By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
A ver.
I don't know what that means, Harry, but I love it. I love your initiative. Knowing you're out there keeping things running lets me focus on the big
Me
picture.
comprometo como.
Don't even tell me what was going on. Alcoholic brew, stronger, stopped it, strike. I'm just gonna let you surprise me, Harry.
No me va a preguntar cómo he
Harry,
entrado.
honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age.
¿Qué quieres decir? Estoy en mi punto de...
Yes,
Esther.
yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
Uf. El hijo. Es que el tipo tiene pinta de ser un cabrón manipulador que es capaz de decirte, sonreírte y decirte, sí, tranquilo. Puedes confiar en mí. Y nada más te das la vuelta, te apuñala por la espalda de la forma más sucia que te puedas imaginar. Lo estoy. A ver, voy a preguntarlo. ¿Es verdad? Lo estoy.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
Pero sabes, se anima.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me.
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry.
Me he puesto nervioso, ¿eh? No le ha gustado que hable de este tema, ¿eh?
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor.
Así como la torre de colonial. Hijo de
He
puta.
refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. No le ha gustado, no le ha gustado que hablemos de sus trapicheos, ¿eh? Ha tenido miedo, ¿eh? Claro, claro. Pero este es diferente porque Kimbryn es un empresario, mientras que este es el jefe de un sindicato. Sus ideologías son bastante diferentes. Aunque en un principio sus maneras de actuar son las mismas. Vale, ahora podríamos hablar con... Ahora
que lo recuerdo. Voy a hablar con mi compa. Ahora que sé que tanto el que está ahí como... Estas escalas están destruidas.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads...
Pues el René sé que es el que... Ahora podemos hablar con los del sindicato. Monty, ¿vos te comprarías el Hogwarts Legacy? Me han puto antes. No, a ver. No es mi rollo, lo siento. Yo no me gusta la saga de Harry Potter, lo siento, para que le guste, lo respeto. Aunque podríamos hablar de los miles problemas que tiene la saga. Y su autora, pero... si te gusta Harry Potter, me parece correcto. A ver. ¿Llevo con la bolsa? No lo sé. Aparte que en sí, lo único interesante que tiene el juego de Hogwarts Legacy, por lo que he estado viendo, es que está basado en el mundo de Harry Potter y ya está. Y un juego cuyo atractivo es que está basado en un mundo que ni siquiera me atrae, pues tampoco le voy a... A ver, podría pagarle ya. Quiero hablar con él. No me apetece antes hablar.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Ah. El miércoles, estamos a martes. El miércoles abren el esto y podemos ir en busca de... Vamos a hablar con este tipo. Oye,
It's you again. What is it?
¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Sigue siendo baja. A ver. Es que autoridad tengo. Pero no tengo nada de autoridad. Ventaja por ideas. Hasta que no se me acabe la... ¿Sabes? Si se me acaba la desventaja por las ideas. Plan... ¿Qué es la que me da esto, no? ¿Este es el que me da -1? ¿O este? Este es el que hasta que no termine dentro de 34 minutos. Tal vez cuando me quite ese -1 y podría intentar confrontarla. En plaza. Podría intentar hablar con esta y a ver si me puede dar amoníaco.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
¿Es la chica de
I am
Harvey?
not.
No.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that,
Espera,
she
química,
could
por
become the
favor.
cover of Le Debutante International.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
This didn't change her opinion of you. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl.
Quiero hacerlo. A ver qué dice.
I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be, Liz.
Even a mod?
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes it's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
La jardinera no nos va a decir nada.
Can I help you?
Que hasta las 8 y algo no lo quiero pagar. Porque tal vez descubro dónde vivo y tal. Tiene pinta de que no, pero por si acaso. Por este juego nunca se sabe, ¿no?
Is this about the questions again? Because
No dice nada, loco.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, one.
Vale, no había recogido ninguna bolsa. Ninguna botella, perdón. Ahora mismo encontrarme dinero y recoger botellas es mi única fuente de ingresos. Tal vez ahora hablar con la tipa esta sería buena idea. Monte, ¿qué pasaría si un día despertaras y te miras al espejo y no tienes barba? A ver, claramente han pasado dos cosas. Incluso podría ser tres cosas. Este tipo me vende cosas. Un momento. ¿Puedo usar una...? No. Dame esto. Molaría tener un objeto.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter.
Es decir, significaría una de dos. Bueno, significaría que he despertado en el cuerpo de otro monte del multiverso. Lo segundo es que el día de antes me emborraché muchísimo y me acabé afeitando la barba. Y no me acuerdo de nada de lo que ha pasado. Y la tercera es que alguien me ha gastado una broma y me ha afeitado. A ambas cosas, a las tres cosas diría, bueno, es lo que hay. Tampoco es una barba, tampoco voy a llorar por ello.
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust listening system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins.
La misma respuesta.
Most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one, the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, The Next World Mural.
Se puede recomponer, sí, puedes recomponerlos con el código alfanumérico del margen. Este comienza con la fecha de B41, luego la fecha de inicio y la hora a la llegada de la escena, seguido por el título, por ejemplo, sería HDB41. Luego es la fecha de inicio, sería el 12 del 11. ¿No? A ver, fecha 41, 12. A las 7, salvo porque sea el moral del otro.
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files.
Claro, HDB.
It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Son mis iniciales.
Harry Dubois, HDB.
Harry Dubois.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lecturers have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
Avance inminente. Ojo.
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter, and agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
Avance inminente. Podría subirme un punto en esto. O subirme un punto en esto. Luego me lo pienso. El caso irresoluble.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop fashioning his genitals to bypasses and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression. Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Yeah.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
Un momento, estoy pensando.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
Avance inminente, es decir, dentro de nada.
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
Asesinato, ¿en serio? ¿Quién
Those
sabe?
pages are missing. What next?
¿Y ahora qué?
One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it. Yes, as you said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it was. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved. No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What murder? Tum 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 at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor. Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner JM, only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister, was on it for, like, a month. Mills didn't get off the pot, not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Fantastic.
A ver la que sí. ¿Qué Fallout 1 más raro? Ah, no. Fallout 1 lo jugué ayer. Hemos estipulado que primero... un día vamos a jugar a Fallout 1 y el día siguiente vamos a jugar a Disco Elysium. Pero sí. ¿Cómo estamos? Ahora luego jugaremos también a System Shock, que me apetece bastante. ¿Cuánto vive? Me he perdido. ¿De qué va esto? Es un juego. Un juego, definitivamente es un juego. Somos este tipo de aquí. O este de aquí, mejor dicho. Ayer nos despertamos desnudos, sin recordar qué había pasado. Al parecer pillamos tremendo pedo que nos hemos olvidado y casi nos morimos. Y lo peor es que resulta que somos policías que tenemos que resolver un asesinato. Donde hay muchas cosas políticas metidas entre medias. En un mundo ficticio del cual claramente ni yo ni el protagonista sabemos de qué va la mitad, porque como hemos perdido la memoria no sabemos en qué consiste este mundo. Y menos mal que tenemos a nuestro compañero que nos está ayudando, nos echa una mano. Y tal, y es un... A ver, un momento. Mills, y estoy revisando por mis antiguos casos, porque me ha dado por ahí ahora. A ver si me pueden dar alguna pista sobre este asesinato. Y no lo dejo, todavía no. Siguió un par de semanas más comiéndose la cabeza, repasando cada teoría por extravagante que le pareciese. Y así no pudo resolver el caso del asesinato del salón de Nargil. Un caso difícil, lo dijo, el más duro que había tenido.
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer had vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
No, en verdad yo veo que está bastante bien hecho. Porque te fuerza a...
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Bien, así que te pasa el caso. Aquí está la historia. Encuentra a un joven muerto en el salón de Nargil. Ya sabes, esos lugares donde vas y chupas una pila de agua con vapores que sabe a cicle. Pero... ¿Y eso coloca? Mola un montón, vaya chorrada. ¿Lo coloca?
No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
Mola un montón.
Yeah, really lame. So anyway... Young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon.
Nargil a chupar pilas.
He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45.
La reguila
Then
es una
he's
cachimba.
dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened?
Es que yo como no,
How can it be?
no fumo ni nada, no me sé de esas cosas. No sé si es otra manera de llamar a la cachimba. Buenas de fe, ¿cómo estamos?
Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge.
A ver, tiene pinta, ¿no? De que el chaval, en este caso, que estoy leyendo.
See? You can't even read the thing
¿Lo
without
ves?
soul.
Ni siquiera eres capaz de
Yeah,
leerlo sin
it was
resolverlo.
that. Turns
Si
out
fue
it
eso que
does
son.
do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
¿Qué estuve haciendo ahí?
Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed, piecing it together. Next. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
-1, el largo y solitario camino a casa. ¿Es porque...? El largo y solitario... A ver, un momento. Ropa. Me da más conectividad, ¿no? Pues me voy a poner más conectividad. A ver, ¿qué me quieres decir?
Rigorous self-critique.
Ideas desarrolladas, autocrítica
Here it
rigurosa.
is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the
Ojo.
room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect
nada
in
mal.
the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you. Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The
Ojo.
opposite of déjà vu.
He desarrollado dos
Already
ideas, qué
seen,
guay.
but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now.
Vale, he desarrollado estas dos. Podría desbloquear este y ponerme este o este. Pero bueno. Quiero ver si puedo abrir de estos objetos interactuar.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board.
Pero un archivo de
It
caso.
takes about half an
Vale,
hour.
esto ya lo he
Not
leído
much
todo.
has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers. Just relax.
Bien
The
hecho.
two sides of the board are slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. All you need to do is bend the plastic on your knee, slowly. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know,
Vamos a abrir el
without
comportamiento.
resistance or sound. The two panels move against each other. The two ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Mátate. Me gusta.
Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too.
Ahora puedo ir al acuario de este lugar, qué bien.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Abrirlo.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand.
De nuestra exmujer,
A young
supongo.
woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile.
Podría ser de nuestra
You think,
exmujer.
although that is not something you can read from someone's hand.
Bueno, o expareja. No sé si es exnovia o exmujer. Una joven de unos 20 años, se vestido cuidadoso, tal.
Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
Tírala, voluntad. Dice, no, tírala. ¿Por qué me hará daño? Mentalmente.
A merciful wind blows in from the Bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it. Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark.
Me has bloqueado un final.
Disappear.
¿Dónde me tiro por un puente?
Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector, a streetcar distancing. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To
Aguantar.
what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything alright?
Qué redondo. Ay, no, que la he liado leyendo una carta. Ay, no. Me ha vuelto a pasar, gente. Bueno, has terminado el juego, ¿no? No sé lo que ha pasado. ¿Qué le ha pasado a mi prota?
There is nothing.
No, no hay nada.
Again.
¿Otra vez? ¿Nada?
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery. Just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's
¿Quién
me.
es?
Blue eyes, that's me.
Yo, ojos azules soy yo.
Who was what?
¿Quién era el qué?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion.
¿Cuánto tiempo sin hablar
Even
con
in the
vosotros?
darkness, he's grasping for it, still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Estoy naciendo de nuevo. ¿Qué está pasando? No sé, esas grandes paredes que se deslizan por el agua viscosa.
The cool when you're dead, brother.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow.
La gente que hizo este juego, que tremenda por
Because it's always there.
el luto blanco, porque siempre está ahí.
Tell him.
Díselo.
Ah, yes. In the old factory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so.
Yo es que apenas puedo percibir olores, así que...
What do you do?
Olía
It
también...
didn't smell nice.
Olía
It
traición.
smelled like betrayal.
Era lo de... Era lo del... Es algo, el... El me llama
Your
Harry.
name is fuck all.
Vale, querido cerebro reptiliano primitivo.
It certainly ain't Harry.
Harry seguro que no, entonces ¿cómo me
Your
llamo?
name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes.
Arrastrado por uno de los otros simios malvados de esto.
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Cadáver hinchado del pasado resurgiendo. No, era algo parecido.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape. Its lack of beauty was not the problem.
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause. Yeah, man. What was that about?
No paro de desarrollar ideas, ¿eh? Soy un maestro. Basta.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now,
Me estoy muriendo.
inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Y estos dos que son lo último que se desactiva de mi cuerpo, para que lo entendáis. Me están intentando decir, oye, te están muriendo, espabila, hay que hacer algo. Pero le tiro, ¿no crees que te dejarían hasta desintegrarte en biomoléculas? No, en este mismo instante hay alguien respirando sobre tu rostro, inspeccionando tus pupilas, maldito idiota. No voy a volver. ¿Qué es esto? Está frío. Me están haciendo la respiración boca a boca, es decir...
Yes, they're pouring something on you.
Y me está haciendo el boca a boca. Que me estoy muriendo, que me ha dado un infarto o algo.
It's delicious.
Delicioso. Me gusta percepción.
Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
De la nada emergen unas luces brillantes sobre un tablero. ¿Dónde
The
estoy?
upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket.
Ay, que me he muerto.
The air is thick
Me he
with
muerto.
leatherwork and heavy
Ay,
fuel oil.
casi me
Cold
muero.
water runs down your chin.
Por leer una carta.
Drink. Water.
Vamos a aceptar
The
su agua.
water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head
Bye, Monty.
recedes.
Bye,
The
Cono.
darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Bueno, antiguamente, tengo que decir que antiguamente era más sano beber alcohol que agua, porque antes el agua no solía ser potable, mientras que el alcohol por lo menos no cargaba con tanta infección, tantos patógenos ni enfermedades. Así que antiguamente se bebía más cerveza porque estaba fermentado que agua en sí.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
¿Cuánto?
10 minutes, maybe.
Ah, vale. Menos mal 10 minutos. Me estaba preocupando, ¿eh? Entré en contacto con las ruinas carbonizadas del pasado, teniente.
That does sometimes happen.
Ah, he vuelto a conseguir un portapapeles. Menos mal, señor. Menos mal que te tengo a ti. Porque si fuese por mí, esto iba a la deriva, ¿eh?
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Resolvamos este caso.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
Es decir, ahora se ha convertido en los dos de autoridad. Pero me da más uno de mundo interior y tal, ¿vale? De momento no me interesa. Aunque de forma normal sí que me podría interesar, ¿no? Esto me da menos 2 de autoridad, pero más 1 en tal. Y aquí me han aparecido 2 ideas nuevas. Esta y esta. Debería de subirme... Pero es que hay un montón de putas ideas, ¿no? Y lo peor de todo es que... Supongo que se van... Mientras están aquí, en plan, se van desarrollando. Y yo voy poniendo las que me interesen, ¿no? Es decir, aquí están... Cuando pasen 1 hora y 20 descubriré qué habilidad me da esto para poder equipármelo. Así que lo mejor sería dejarlos ahí, ¿no? Voy a intentar ahora... Esto me da menos 2 de tal, pero... Más 1 de instinto. Pantalones me dan... Pero casi me voy con Diosito, ¿eh? Menos mal que... Ahora tendré más... Ahora tendré más autoridad. Es baja. Voy a intentarlo. Y no cargo partida, ¿no? Voy a intentarlo.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
¿Dónde he visto?
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
Gracias, autoridad, por...
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Todavía no está a punto de presionarlo. Uf, ¿qué le contestamos? Los tres son sacas la chorra muy fuerte. Todavía no está a punto, presiónalo. ¿O no? Yo también voy borracho a trabajar y me importa una mierda. Tal como soy. ¿Qué va? Yo también soy un gran fan de la cerveza. Y de perder el tiempo en vez de invertirlo en ayudar a la gente. Ese tal vez nos puede... Al igual que tú. Como a vosotros.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
Tal vez hemos fallado.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
No se trata de quien lo hizo, sino de la víctima. Necesita ayuda.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Glacia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one.
Nuestra vecina.
Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due with an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours.
Vamos a recuperarlo.
Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Vamos a recuperarnos, ¿no?
Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again.
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know.
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranye disco dancer is an immigrant. Or
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Ah, sí.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
what do you think I meant? Yeah, tons of it. All the songs. No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. The fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, Capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Again? Serious? Yeah, whatever.
Vale. Hemos descubierto cositas.
Officer, what was that?
¿A qué ha venido o qué?
You looked strange when he mentioned the assault victim's name. Do you know that woman? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. So she overheard you, or did you party together? Anything else? Okay, that's manageable. That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else? We'll be alright, officer. This is nothing.
Is it though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up.
Uf. Creo que lo vamos a subir. Que seguramente vamos a interrogarla sobre el tema. Pero no será en este directo. ¿Qué tenemos por aquí? Vale. Y en algún momento podríamos subirnos alguna de intelecto. Empatía Voluntad también nos vendría bien subirlo de vez en cuando, por si acaso. Vamos a dejarlo aquí. F5.